The last decade has seen a boom in the genre of car-centered reality shows. Though some of them went off air almost unnoticed, others did a good job at keeping this TV niche alive, while also opening the door for shows of the same type in the future. Bad Chad Customs is certainly one of those series which, despite having premiered very recently, has already surpassed expectations of what audiences want to see on their TV screens. It's not for less though. Chad Hiltz and his team put all their passion and creativity into every project they work on, ensuring that every car customization turns mind-blowing, while letting viewers see what the art of metal building really looks like. So, whatever happened to the show? Did it end, or is it just taking a break from TV? What really happens to Bad Chad Customs when the cameras are off? Keep with us to know it all. Although only 2 seasons of Bad Chad Customs have aired so far, the show already has a loyal following to be proud of. Its popularity isn't surprising though, as besides creating some of the most striking-looking cars in the entire world, Chad Hiltz and his team really have that genuine vibe proper of a small business, which makes them stand out from other car renovation shows out there. Though there's unfortunately no information about Bad Chad Customs' ratings, the number of followers the team has gained on social media since the show's inception in 2019 speaks for itself when it comes to their success. However, seeing that the show's second season finished airing in August 2020 and no more episodes have been released since then, it makes us wonder what's happened to it. The truth is that while Bad Chad Customs hasn't been cancelled to date, unfortunately, it hasn't been renewed by Discovery either. The reason for this long hiatus is unknown, and though in late 2020, Chad affirmed that they were signed to start filming the 3rd season early next year, no new episodes have been released since then. Could this be the end of the series? We really hope not, but if it is, we'll surely treasure all the good moments and first-class automobile builds the show gave us. Knowing how distrustful some people are of reality shows, it's normal for them to wonder if Bad Chad Customs somehow staged the existence of Hiltz Auto, the business the show is centered around. However, it's safe to say that Hiltz Auto is a real-life business that is pretty much active, even when Discovery's cameras aren't around. The shop's story actually goes back several years to when it was named Green Goblin Customs. Though Chad Hiltz changed its name due to copyright issues after the business poked Discovery's interest, it's for sure that the shop has been active for a while. To prove how the shop's team keeps actively working, you just have to take a quick look at the business's official Facebook and YouTube channel, on which Hiltz Auto often shares videos showing their work processes, current projects, and how the staff is doing. While that might not be enough for those who want Bad Chad Customs' return to TV, it's enough to keep our hopes high for a new season. Based in Nova Scotia, Chad's business Hiltz Auto Co. started small. Back at the time when the shop was still known as Green Goblin Customs, Chad had found his way by converting junk into gorgeous-looking vehicles. His specialty made him some sort of a local celebrity back then. Chad Hiltz could build a Bugatti out of a chicken coop, some neighbors affirmed. However, it's necessary that more than hard work and creativity make a business an international success, and Jolene McIntyre knew that. In an interview with Authority magazine, she affirmed that after meeting her now fiancé Chad, she was immediately inspired by his work ethic and enthusiasm, but also knew that he needed help to leap up to the next level. My entire focus was on growth. How do I turn a 5-figure business into a 6-figure business? Figuring that using the shop's limited financial resources wasn't the way to go, Jolene put a lot of time and effort into improving Green Goblin Customs' online presence by sharing the shop's activities as widely as they could on social media. The result was not only in gaining a loyal and genuine following, but also attracting the attention of Discovery. After a change of brand and officially joining the business as a co-founder, Jolene can attest to achieving the goals she set. Anyone who watched Bad Chad Customs knows that Chad's ingenuity is just as important as his resourcefulness. Who would have thought that a piece of junk out of an abandoned boat could end up as an award-winning car part? Most people certainly wouldn't know how to do that, while Chad has done it, and something similar, hundreds of times. Chad's talent has undeniably played a role in him becoming so skilled at what he does, but his lack of means while growing up was apparently what definitely pushed his improvement. You have the will and the want. Then that means you'll use anything that you have to create something that you have in your brain, he revealed in an interview with AutoWise. Experience is a key to succeeding too, but that alone isn't inspiring per se. Or at least, that's what Chad learned after working in too many places during his early years. It just didn't fulfill me, as he affirmed. Soon, he saw himself with no other option than to establish a business with his own rules and no limits. All in all, Chad's willpower and inspiring sense of originality for not wanting to build something that somebody else has built are evidently strong factors in shaping him into the car-building genius we know today. Chad might be an expert at recycling, reshaping, and rebuilding materials of any type for his creations, but that doesn't mean his works are cheap in any way. Money is an important issue to consider for everyone thinking of acquiring a car from him. Chad admits the financial aspect isn't something he likes to think about while rebuilding vehicles, considering it is a self-imposed barrier. If you haven't got that money, then you probably won't move forward, and I enjoy it more when I can make something from nothing and not have to worry. Of course, Chad knows what's what when it comes to working on an innovative design for a car, but knowing exactly how much it costs to have the dream vehicle built by him is a must for most people. As he told the specialized website AutoWise, the charges for his team's labor are the same amount he spends on materials, but it's still hard for him to calculate the budget of a project, especially including the risks. You do the best you can do and hope we hit the button. All in all, Chad's work is definitely worth the money, but it's not the wisest choice for those with financial limitations. If it isn't evident enough, Chad Hiltz has a thing for old cars, though his preference isn't related to their aesthetic aspect. Admittedly, buying junk cars is more a matter of cheapness and the possibilities that an old, unpainted and ugly-looking car brings to him. When I find them junked, they're telling me the truth. I know exactly what they need. Just looking at a vehicle and instantly seeing all the possible outcomes of rebuilding it is not an easy ability to find. However, Chad's ingenuity is definitely connected to how passionate he is about his craft, describing the feeling he wants to create while rebuilding old cars, to that which he had in his childhood at seeing someone who smiles and waves at you going down the road. All in all, for the common folk, it's surely hard to grasp the extent to which Chad's imagination goes. Nonetheless, his creativity, willpower, and work ethic definitely set him apart from the majority of guys in the same business. No matter how talented or hardworking someone might be, most people don't start pursuing their passions in a good place. This certainly applies to Chad Hiltz. Even though he's considered a genius in the car-building business, he was a beginner at some point too. However, as is usual for everyone who dedicates their life to a career or craft, Chad learned more in his lows than in his highs. I made sure that every mistake I made, I learned something and moved forward. Of course, using personal mistakes as a way of self-improvement is not a novel concept in the least, but Chad's simple way of thinking definitely fits the passion he puts into what he does for a living. Remarking on how he doesn't allow anybody to step on my dream, Chad's strong character, life's experiences, and willpower shaped him into who he is nowadays. The impact of Bad Chad Customs certainly goes beyond just letting people see how junk cars become stunning creations. The show is concrete proof of how a business's success is heavily influenced by how well they manage their online presence, as well as budgets. It goes without saying that Chad and Jolene are extremely popular on social media, having thousands of followers individually on Instagram. However, their popularity is more evident on the YouTube channel, Building with Bad Chad and Jolene, on which they've accumulated over 120,000 followers and almost 35 million views. Those numbers couldn't be entirely credited to the fame brought by Bad Chad Customs though, as their content on the platform has been gaining them a loyal audience since 2015. Smartly enough, Jolene and Chad know their audience isn't in only one place. That's why their official Facebook page also provides its almost 320,000 followers with the same content found on their YouTube, making it all easily accessible. As if their dedication wasn't compelling enough, the Hiltz Auto Company website provides its users with all the means to either learn more about the team's craft or to buy a Hiltz product for themselves. Though they don't seem to take work commissions for the time being, the shop's most dedicated fans can buy Hiltz merchandise through the website. Bad Chad Customs might not have the most eccentric cast out there, but they're surely memorable as they are. Starting with Jolene, her role as the mastermind behind the business is not very evident on camera. However, that doesn't mean the labor she undertakes on TV is fake either. As described by Chad, Jolene's my partner because she does just as much as I do. I mean, she's smarter than I am, so that's why we've teamed up. When it comes to the boys, Chad has admitted that Aaron and Alex aren't always in the shop when the show isn't being filmed, but their work is appreciated nonetheless. On the other hand, Colton isn't that present in the off-season either, but being Chad's son makes him special. He's there because he's my son, and I have a responsibility to try and teach him right from wrong through life. Questioning if a reality show is actually real is more normal than it seems, but it's also common to find people on social media over-judgmental about what they see on TV. However, while TV stars usually ignore a fair amount of negativity which comes along with fame, others confront it right away. The latter is the case with Chad Hiltz, who, on a YouTube video posted in late 2021, took his audience through a garage tour to show them some perspective of what they see in the show, versus how the work is done in real life. This was a direct response to a wave of malicious comments that filled Bad Chad's social media accounts. As well, he addressed the controversy surrounding his Green Goblin car for being exhibited at Specialty Equipment Market Association, SEMA, saying how the achievement proved his hard work and wasn't any plot faked for the show. As he revealed, the deal for TV was, I build the cars, they make the show, but the ownership of the vehicles remains his and Jolene's, affirming that his goal with Bad Chad Customs wasn't to brag or pretend to be something he wasn't, but to inspire everyone who chooses to spend their life building cars too. Chad's sincerity is another thing to add to the list of reasons why we still love his show.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.